CLG. So, and you're going to be signing books after the show. Perfect. Okay. Next up, Racelle Rosett is here. She is an award-winning short story writer and award-winning television writer for 30-something. She is a prayer teacher and a poet. Her short stories have been praised by Erica Jong, Anita Diamant, and Jill Soloway, who declared, "If I had to find someone to rewrite the Bible and make it relevant to my peers, she'd be the first person I'd dial." Andrew Tonkovich, host of Bibliocracy, said of Rosette's fiction, "I have not read stories lately that honestly, friends, made me immediately want to rush home to my wife and son." Please welcome Racelle Rosett.
Thank you. I read an editor recently that said that he hates cover letters and he just wants to get to the work. So let's begin. These are, I'm going to read about 6 poems from a suite of poems that are tied together by a single event. And I'll just go straight through and I'll introduce them by title. Okay? The Father's Daughter. In the first post at the hospital, she is turned away, her long hair braided and bound by white surgical tape like the ends of laces, her arms and bare shoulders painted with betadine. The blankets warmed by the nurses have fallen around her, draped like white marble. This and the image of the car, which is really only pieces of a car, are shared hundreds of times. You are in our prayers. How could this happen? Sending good vibes and fuck that guy. The driver, who pulled the tubes from his arms and walked himself out of the same hospital. His mother awake already when the call came. The deep dread of what she'd feared would happen had happened. The number of children in the car, 5. It took the father 3 hours on either side, one on either side of the flight to reach his girl. He gripped the paper boarding pass, the arms of the lurching plane, the too small wheel of the rental car like the lapels of some punk. At the hospital, he broke into a run as if the last few strides were all that mattered, then slowed to tiptoe as he passed a family configured like a nativity around a babe. His daughter broke to sobbing gasps and snot and hungry low wails, wiping her face on his shirt, not pretty or small, more than he could contain. He stepped back in the room and Instagrammed it, to post, to send to the girl's mother. What last 4 decisions, what 20, had led to this terrible moment? What early misstep had brought him to this terrible place? When she is home, he makes a new habit of looking down at his paper, into the lake of his coffee. When she enters the room, he reaches out to find her shoulder. Hey, kiddo. She goes out at last with her mother and returns with her hair cut short. They make a vocal agreement that it is darling, fresh, but he is cut. It has marked him, that he has let this thing happen. They have taken matters into their own hands. In the Christmas picture, her hair is short, newly shorn, because she is new. The night of the sparkling snow. She touches her hair at the hem, her fingertips learning, making sense, the light air on her neck a correction. It is like the hair of a little girl or boy, efficient and quick, all the rough injury cut away. A reset, a photo repaired to the past, not the look of a young woman, new to her own power. Through the lens. Try me. She listens to a sound. A lullaby, shepherd bells, the whoosh of air and shatter that slows. Time makes a swath of color. Black night, of course, but also yellow. Gray, also peach, and white, all fast. Then slow, slow, like pulling your hand through water. She is with him. Just before, when we knew already. We saw each other our bodies like spacemen, floating in no sound. Here we go. Lily's song. I am the one they don't see because I am good. The plate I carry from the table says so, the tidy letters when I write. In my room, the blankets pulled tight across my shoulders, flat as a boy. I practice. If someone shoots, I lie down. My window lets in air. I am on the second story. Most girls who are taken die the first day, but some are found the next year, just 6 miles from their house. My skin is warm under the sheet, but the air on my face is cool. In my classroom, I cross my feet at the ankle under my desk, and that anchors me. I put my paper at an angle like a picture frame after an earthquake. I hold my pen tight, and the blood is pressed away. They say that I will bleed soon, but I hope that I don't, because what happens next is high school, and then college. And in college, you can die. You can walk along and a car going 80 with no lights can run right into you, and you can die. Or you can live and come home, and everyone who talks to you or touches you or even looks at you will be afraid of you. They will be scared to death. 76,320. Our little church is not big enough to hold them, the ones who drove so far to meet Shane. We unfold white chairs in front of the front row. Women the age of my mother hold dishes covered with dish towels, still warm. Bread pudding, cheesy mac will drop at the firehouse after. I never sit. I stand instead at the back, the southwest corner where my flat hands can feel both walls. Shane, I whisper, they are all here to meet you. Girls with glossy hair, tangled like mermaids, muses, crying. You could really clean up. They full on adore you. You are as real as Tom Sawyer. The news even came in a van parked recklessly on the new grass with wheels. The wheels will whine in the mud of the melting snow. Shane, the pain, who will be my brother now? Who will remember when the power failed and I woke you up to see the dark? The motorcycle. He is a book now, quiet in place. He will disturb no one, his loved ones. But for I, the reader, he is set down on white paper, thin ribbons of wood. Pure carbon, a forest, a live fire. He is back to earth, to ash. I had no right, no entitlement to brace him, to cradle his heavy head. But he was, for a time, as much mine as any child. Thrown through the window, falling gracelessly to my waiting, helpless hands. Once, just near my house, a boy, it may have been a girl, a child in any case, a girl, yes, let go of the motorcycle she was riding, and it flew out from beneath her, making a spray of sparks that alerted us. Our eyes went first to the machine, its side spinning spokes, then back to the child. My brother's wife, the EMT, had instructed me to keep old school sanitary napkins in the trunk of my car for this exact purpose, to stop the blood of the child. Not a child, but to me. To sop the blood that was so lush against the paling skin of her forehead. The gash and the blood and the sparks were the realest thing. I knelt beside her. The whole of the intersection stopped. Cars, doors open, parked at odd angles, the sirens not far off, and I dove-cooed the child. She was insulted, but not irreparable. The button of her eye could be resewn. Soon enough, the rescuers came, and the child's toy was righted. And we, the citizens, returned to our cars. The signal, first red, then green, was obeyed. The day from then on was not so different. When we returned to our homes, we told the story to our loved ones, pressed our lips to their forehead, unmarked and smooth, so beautiful we had to look away. The news is not good. The doctor, the tall one, the one that we call handsome, the one the nurses dish on, he married a nurse from a different shift and she's older. That's how it is, we are friends. The doctor told us the injuries are catastrophic. I was apart from my body the way that Shane must be. I was inside of a well, dark, where before I had seen a bit of sky, but now I thought at the time when I traveled back, he is a good doctor. He is telling it like it is. He is like a father about it, a father with rules. He is not unclear. The scan tells us. He tells me all the news twice. He starts again at the beginning, and it may have been that he shifted his weight on one foot to the other, but the rest is the same from moment one. The injuries are catastrophic, and he doesn't wait for my question. He answers it. We are sure. For my part, I have not spoken. I have nodded to steady myself, to have a meter to attend to. I see without turning on my left, my husband's shirt is wet, soaked through. I think that is a cold sweat. I notice only when the doctor stops talking, and I nod and press the flat of my palm on the pocket of his blue shirt, warm, dry, as if just ironed. He does not flinch or pull back because we are familiar. Thank you. And that is the last air in my lungs. They empty but don't refill. And then and now, when I think of them, they empty again. Racelle Rosett, look her up. Thank you so much.